We begin with a Guelph journalist who says he's looking to take action against the OPP after being detained and stripped of his equipment while covering a fatal crash. It happened yesterday at a major intersection in Guelph. Jason Gaidola joins us live tonight with more on this. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Taz. Richard Vivian at local news outlet Guelph Today tells me that in 20 years as a journalist, he has never experienced what he had experienced with police yesterday, and he believes what happened to him was, quote, an overreach of authority.
Told me to give him the camera. I told him to let me go. He said no. He said he was seizing the camera. I paused for a couple of seconds trying to understand what was going on. But I then relented and I handed over the camera.
Guelph journalist Richard Vivian says it was yesterday morning when an OPP officer instantly detained him and confiscated his camera while he was on the job.
I'm concerned about what I feel is an overreach of authority, and I would like to see that addressed.
OPP say it was around 6 a.m. when they got to the scene of the crash on College Road and Hanlon Expressway. They say a 65-year-old Guelph woman was killed. She was struck by a pickup truck at the major intersection. Vivian says he got to the scene at around 9 o'clock and says as soon as he snapped a few photos, an officer yelled at him to stop, then grabbed him by the wrist.
But there was no obstruction on the sidewalk, no tape, no pylons, no indication that police didn't want people through there. In fact, there were several pedestrians walking on the sidewalk.
He says after being detained for about 15 minutes, the officer released him and the assigned coroner on scene agreed to give back his camera, but not his memory card. The OPP responded with a statement on social media yesterday saying they are aware of the situation and the OPP is reviewing the circumstances between the member of the media and one of the OPP investigators. They add our role under the direction of the coroner is to conduct a complete and thorough death investigation while ensuring its integrity. Questions related to the Coroner's Act should be directed to the Office of the Chief Coroner. Vivian says he intends to take further action.
I don't actually know the ins and outs of this because, again, nobody's ever heard of the coroner doing this before. So we're trying to figure out what the proper process for complaint and hopeful changes to the process is.
And the Office of the Chief Coroner responded to CHCH News today saying it does not comment on specific cases, but under the Coroner's Act, it does have the right to seize anything that is material to its investigations. They say that they do understand the concerns here and are conducting a review. Until today, CH News has not heard of measures like this from the coroner. And meanwhile, the Canadian Association of Journalists responded saying that the OPP and the coroner violated freedom of the press.